Good day, lady and gentlemen. I'm your friend, your speaker Bello, well known as Wealthcome Guys. Let's talk about money. It's a subject that makes some people sweat and others just plain shut down. We see it every day, we use it every day, but do we really understand it? For too many people, money is a source of stress, fear, and constant worry. It feels like a big, scary monster hiding under the bed. You know it's there, but you are too afraid to look. You just hope it goes away. Well, I'm here to tell you that money isn't the monster. The monster is not knowing what your money is doing. It's time to turn on the light, look that monster in the eye, and realize it was just a pile of clothes you were scared of all along. The truth is, handling money is a skill. It is not a secret code that only Wall Street guys in fancy suits can understand. It is not something you have to be a math genius to master. Winning with money is about 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. That's right. It's more about what you do than what you know. It's about having a plan and sticking to it. You don't need a PhD in economics to build a solid financial future for yourself and your family. You just need a little bit of common sense, a whole lot of discipline, and the courage to face your finances head on. Think about it like this. If you wanted to build a house, you wouldn't just start throwing bricks and wood together and hope for the best, would you? Of course not. You would start with a blueprint. You would have a plan for the foundation, the walls, the roof. Your financial life is the most important house you will ever build. It's where your dreams, your security, and your family's future will live. So why would you try to build it without a plan? It's time to grab a pencil and paper and draw your own blueprint for financial success. It's simpler than you think. This guide is your blueprint. We're going to break it down piece by piece so you can see that you are in control. You are the boss of your money. Your paycheck works for you, not the other way around. We will talk about saving, budgeting, spending, and the big one, debt. By the end, you will see that you have the power to change your financial story, starting today, right now. Forget everything you thought was too complicated. We're going back to basics because that's where real lasting change begins. Let's get started. So what is this big term, financial literacy? It sounds like something you'd study in a college classroom with a thick, boring textbook. Let's throw that idea out the window. Financial literacy is simply knowing enough about money to make smart decisions. That's it. It's understanding the basics so you can manage your own life without relying on luck, or, worse, on credit cards to get you through the month. It's the difference between being the captain of your own ship, steering it where you want to go, and just being a passenger, tossed around by the waves of life with no control. Being financially literate means you know where your money comes from and, more importantly, where it goes. It means you have a plan. You are not just reacting to bills and expenses as they pop up, surprised every time the electric bill arrives. Instead, you are proactive. You anticipate those expenses. You tell every single dollar you earn where it needs to go before the month even begins. It's about being intentional. When you are intentional with your money, you are telling it who is in charge. And that person, my friend, is you. Financial literacy is personal finance, and it's personal. Let's use an example. Imagine two people both earning the same amount of money. The first person gets their paycheck and just starts spending. A little here, a little there. They eat out, buy new clothes, and swipe their card without a second thought. By the end of the month, they are broke and have no idea where all the money went. The second person, who is financially literate, sits down with that same paycheck and makes a plan. They set aside money for savings, for bills, for groceries, and for a little bit of fun. They are in control. They are not richer, but they are smarter with what they have. This is not about depriving yourself of everything you enjoy. It's about creating a life where you are not a slave to your bills or your debts. Financial literacy gives you freedom. It gives you options. The option to quit a job you hate. The option to handle an emergency without going into a panic. The option to build a future where you can be generous and leave a legacy for your family. It is the fundamental skill for living in the modern world, and it is a skill that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn. You just have to decide you're ready to learn it. Alright, let's get down to business. The very first thing you need to do on your journey to financial peace is to start saving money. I'm not talking about saving for a far-off retirement just yet. I'm talking about building a barrier between you and life. Because life happens, the car will break down, the air conditioner will go out in the middle of summer, your kid will need braces. These are not if situations, they are when situations. A lack of an emergency fund is what turns a simple inconvenience into a major financial disaster for most people. Your first goal is to save a starter emergency fund. I want you to get laser focused on one number, $1,000. That is your first baby step. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to save $1,000 as fast as you can. This is not investing money. This is insurance. It's a buffer. You need to sell stuff you don't need. Pick up extra hours at work, deliver pizzas on the weekend, do whatever it takes to scrape together that $1,000 and put it in a separate savings account. This isn't your vacation fund or your new TV fund. This money has one job and one job only: to protect you from emergencies. Think of it like this: you're driving down the highway of life and you get a flat tire. If you have a spare tire in the trunk, your $1,000 emergency fund, it's a hassle for sure. You have to pull over, change the tire, and get the old one fixed, but you get back on the road. Now, if you don't have that spare tire, you are stranded. You are stuck. You have to call for an expensive tow truck, and your whole day, maybe even your whole week, is ruined. That little emergency just became a huge, stressful crisis. That $1,000 is your spare tire. Once you have that $1,000 saved, you will feel a change. A weight will lift off your shoulders. You will sleep a little better at night knowing you have a small cushion. It's a powerful feeling of security that you earned yourself. This is the first and most crucial step because it gives you the breathing room to tackle your next goal, which is getting out of debt. You can't effectively fight your debt if you are constantly being knocked down by life's little surprises. So before you do anything else, get that starter emergency fund in place today. If the emergency fund is your defense, the budget is your offense. It is your plan for winning with money. A lot of people hear the word budget and they cringe. They think it's a straitjacket that will keep them from having any fun. That is a lie. A budget is not about restricting you, it's about empowering you. A budget is you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It is the single most powerful tool you have for changing your financial life. If you are not doing a budget, you are not in control of your money. Period. Making a budget is simple. It's a zero-based budget. All that means is that your income minus all of your expenses equals zero. Every single dollar that comes in is assigned a name and a job before the month begins. You list your income at the top of the page. Then, you list every single expense you have: your mortgage or rent, your utilities, your car payment, your groceries, your gas, everything. You give every dollar a purpose. If you have money left over after all your essential expenses, you assign that money a job too. Maybe it goes toward paying off debt or building up your savings. Let's be clear, this will take some work, especially the first couple of times. You and your spouse, if you're married, need to sit down together and do this. It might even lead to a few discussions. That's okay. It's better to have those discussions over a piece of paper than in a state of panic when the bills are overdue. Track your spending for a month to see where your money is actually going. You will probably be shocked. That daily coffee, the lunches out, the subscriptions you forgot you had, they add up. The budget shines a bright light on those money leaks so you can plug them. A budget gives you permission to spend. That's right. When you have a line item in your budget for restaurants or entertainment, you can spend that money with zero guilt. You planned for it. It's part of the plan. You are in control. It's the spending that isn't in the budget that causes the stress and the guilt. So stop thinking of a budget as a negative thing. It is your written plan for success. It is the blueprint for your financial house. No one has ever gotten out of debt and built wealth without a written plan. It's time to make yours. Once you have your budget in place, you can see exactly where your money is going. Now it's time to optimize that spending. This isn't about becoming a cheapskate who never enjoys life. It's about being intentional and wise with the money you do spend. Every dollar you save on one thing is a dollar you can put towards something more important, like getting out of debt or building your emergency fund. Spending wisely is a habit, and it's one that will pay you back for the rest of your life. It's about making conscious choices instead of mindless ones. A huge area where people waste money is on food. Between a disorganized grocery plan and eating out too often, the food budget can get out of control fast. The solution is simple: plan your meals. Sit down once a week, plan out your dinners, and make a grocery list based on that plan. And stick to the list. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. That's a recipe for disaster. Pack your lunch for work instead of buying it every day. You might think it's only $10, but $10 a day is $50 a week, which is $200 a month. That's real money you could be using to attack your debt. Another key to spending wisely is to question every purchase. Before you buy something, especially a larger item, ask yourself a few questions. Do I really need this? Can I afford this right now with cash? Is this the best use of this money? Often just pausing for 24 hours before making a non-essential purchase is enough to make you realize you don't actually want it that badly. This pause helps you move from being an emotional spender to a logical, intentional spender. It breaks the cycle of instant gratification that keeps so many people broke. Finally, become a savvy shopper. Use coupons when you can. Look for sales on items you were already going to buy. Don't be afraid to buy generic brands at the grocery store. Often they are the exact same product as the name brand, just in a different box. Shop around for major purchases like insurance or cell phone plans. A few phone calls could save you hundreds of dollars a year. These are not massive, life-altering changes. They are small, smart decisions that, when added together, create a huge positive impact on your financial situation. It's about being a good steward of what you have. We need to have a serious talk about debt. Debt has been sold to us as a normal part of life. We're told you need a credit card to build your credit score. You need a car loan to drive a decent car. You need student loans to get an education. It's all normal. Folks, I'm here to tell you that normal in America is broke. I want you to be weird. I want you to be debt-free. Debt is the single greatest obstacle to building wealth. It is a thief that steals your income, your peace of mind, and your future. You cannot get ahead financially while you are dragging the anchor of debt behind you. Let's look at what debt really is. When you go into debt, you are paying for something in the past. That car you bought 3 years ago? You are still sending your hard-earned money every month to pay for a depreciating asset. That vacation you put on a credit card last summer? You are still paying for it with interest, long after the tan has faded. Debt chains your future income to your past decisions. It means a portion of every paycheck you earn already belongs to someone else, the bank, the credit card company. Imagine what you could do with that money if it was yours to keep. The most insidious form of debt is credit card debt. The interest rates are insanely high and they are designed to trap you. The credit card companies are not your friends. They are multi-billion-dollar corporations that get rich by keeping you in a cycle of debt. They want you to make only the minimum payment. If you only pay the minimum on a credit card balance, you could be in debt for decades and end up paying 2, 3, or even 4 times the original amount you borrowed. It is a mathematical trap designed to drain your wealth. The first step to breaking free is to stop borrowing money. Cut up the credit cards. I want you to get angry about your debt. I want you to hate it. You should get so mad at that car payment and those student loans that you are willing to do whatever it takes to get rid of them. This is not a passive process. This is a war. You need to go on the attack. You need to live on less than you make, follow your budget, and throw every extra dollar you can find at your debts until they are gone. Freedom from debt is possible. Millions of people have done it. But it starts with a decision, the decision that you will no longer be a slave to the lender. You've probably heard people talk about good debt and bad debt. The idea is that some debt, like a mortgage or a student loan, is an investment and therefore it's okay. Bad debt, they say, is for things like credit card purchases or fancy vacations. Let me be very clear, that is a myth. It's a lie created by the debt industry to make you feel comfortable borrowing money. The truth is, all debt is a risk. All debt costs you money in the form of interest. All debt makes someone else rich off of your income. There is no such thing as good debt. Debt is debt. Let's take the mortgage. People say it's good debt because you're building equity in an asset. While owning a home can be a great thing, the mortgage itself is not your friend. The bank has a lien on your house, and if you fail to pay, they will take it. For the first several years of a 30-year mortgage, the vast majority of your payment is going straight to interest, not to paying down your principal. Your goal should be to own your home, not to be in a lifelong partnership with a bank. The fastest way to build wealth is to pay off your home as quickly as possible. Then there are student loans, the poster child for good debt. We tell our kids that they have to take on massive loans to get a good education and a good job. The result? A generation of young people starting their adult lives with a crushing weight of debt that can be larger than a mortgage. This debt delays their ability to save, to buy a home, and to start a family. It forces them to take jobs they don't want just to make the payments. There are ways to get an education without selling your soul to Sally Mae. You can choose a more affordable school, work your way through college, or aggressively apply for scholarships and grants. The bottom line is this: when you borrow money, you are putting your future at risk. Your income becomes the bank's property. You have less freedom and fewer options. Don't fall for the marketing gimmicks that try to classify debt as good. Your rich uncle isn't a bank. The only one who gets truly rich from debt is the lender. Your goal should be to owe nothing to anyone for any reason. That is true financial freedom. It's a radical idea in our culture, but it's the only path that leads to guaranteed financial peace and the ability to build real, lasting wealth. All of this information can feel overwhelming, I get it. But winning with money is about taking small, consistent steps. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So let's talk about a few simple things you can do right now, today, to start moving in the right direction. These are not complicated strategies, they are practical actions that will begin to build momentum. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and these are your first steps on the path to financial peace. You can do this. First, have a no-spend weekend, that's it. From Friday afternoon to Monday morning, challenge yourself and your family not to spend any money. Eat the food you already have in your pantry and freezer. Find free activities to do like going to a park, playing board games, or visiting the library. This simple exercise does two things. It proves to you that you can have fun without spending money, and it makes you much more aware of the small, mindless purchases you make out of habit. It's a great way to reset your spending habits and save a little cash. Second, automate your savings. Even if it's just a small amount to start. Go to your bank's website or app right now and set up an automatic transfer. Have $25, $50, or whatever you can afford moved from your checking account to your savings account the day after you get paid. This is the principle of paying yourself first. By automating it, you take the emotion and forgetfulness out of the equation. That money is saved before you even have a chance to miss it or spend it. Over time, those small, consistent savings will grow into a significant amount. Third, make a list of all your debts. I'm not talking about just thinking about them. I want you to get a piece of paper and write them all down, from the smallest balance to the largest. List who you owe, how much you owe, and what the interest rate is. This can be a scary and painful step, but it is absolutely essential. You cannot defeat an enemy you do not know. Putting it all down on paper brings it out into the light. It makes it real. This list is your hit list. You will use this to focus your energy and attack your debts one by one, starting with the smallest one first to build momentum. We've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about saving, budgeting, spending wisely, and the absolute necessity of getting out of debt. It might feel like a mountain to climb, and in some ways it is. But I want you to hear me loud and clear. You can do this. You have what it takes to change your financial future. It doesn't matter what your income is. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made in the past. The past does not have to equal the future. Today is a new day. Today, you can draw a line in the sand and decide that things are going to be different from now on. This journey is not about complex financial products or get-rich-quick schemes. It is about changing your behavior with money. It's about discipline, focus, and sacrifice. There will be times when it's hard. There will be times when you want to give up and just go buy something you can't afford. Your friends might not understand why you're packing your lunch or driving an old car. That's okay. You are not trying to be normal because normal is broke. You are on a mission to build a life of security, peace, and freedom for yourself and your family. Remember the power of small steps. You don't have to fix everything overnight. Just start with baby step 1. Save that $1,000 starter emergency fund. Focus all your energy on that one goal. When you achieve it, you will feel a sense of accomplishment that will fuel you for the next step. Then, you start your debt snowball, paying off your debts from smallest to largest. Each time you pay one off, you build momentum and motivation. It's a proven plan that has worked for millions of people, and it will work for you too if you stick with it. Ultimately, financial peace is not about having a pile of money. It's about what that money allows you to do. It's about being able to sleep at night without worrying about bills. It's about being able to handle an emergency without going into debt. It's about having the freedom to be outrageously generous and to change your family tree forever. You are the hero of your own story. The decisions you make starting today will determine the ending. So take that first step. Make a budget. Start saving. You are in control, and your journey to financial peace starts now.